Please join me in reading the words for the chalice lighting, which are printed in your order of service. May the sound of this bell penetrate deeply into the cosmos. In even the darkest spots, may living beings hear it clearly, so their suffering will cease, understanding arise in their hearts, and they can transcend the path of anxiety and sorrow. The incense offering will be sung by Bob and Phil and anyone else who knows the words.
The fragrance of this incense invites the awakened mind to be truly present with us now. The fragrance of this incense fills the practice center, protects and guards our mind from all wrong thinking. The fragrance of this incense collects us and unites us, precepts concentration insight. We offer for all that is. Namo Bodhisattvebhya. Namo Mahasavebhya.
There are hand gestures with the song, so those folks who know the hand gestures are invited to stand up front and help lead us in the hand gestures. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. I am blooming as a flower. I am fresh as the dew. I am solid as a mountain. I am firm as the earth. I am free. Breathe
I am free, I am free, I am free. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. I am blooming as a flower. I am fresh as the dew. I am solid as a mountain. I am firm as the earth. I am free. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. I am water reflecting what is real, what is true. And I feel there is space deep inside of me. I am free, I am free, I am free.
I'm Deborah, and I'm going to lead you in a guided meditation. It'll be about 5 minutes long. So I invite you to put down whatever you're holding, your hymnal, your order of service, your purse, whatever you might have. Uncross your legs and put your feet firmly on the floor. Adjust your posture as you need. Find a comfortable, upright position. You might want to scoot yourself forward a little bit in your chair so you're not slumping back against the chair. Let your spine be straight but relaxed. You might want to close your eyes, or you can leave them open. Let your attention go to your face and your scalp. Feel whatever tensions are there and let them relax. Let the muscles go loose and limp, soft. Notice your jaw. Let it soften, and let your tongue find a comfortable place in your mouth to rest. Let your attention go to your neck and your shoulders. Let your shoulders soften and become loose and limp. Now notice your chest and your belly and your back. Let all those muscles relax. And finally, your legs and your feet. Let them relax and soften too. You might find you would like to adjust your posture just a little bit, once again, to find the most comfortable place. And now let us listen to the sound of the bell. Breathing in, I know I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know I am breathing out. In, out. Breathing in, I follow my breath all the way in. Breathing out, I follow my breath all the way out. All the way in, all the way out. Aware of my body, I breathe in, relaxing my body, I breathe out. Aware of body, relaxing body. Calming my body, I breathe in, caring for my body, I breathe out. Calming my body, caring for my body. Smiling to my body, I breathe in. Easing my body, I breathe out. Smiling, ease. I invite you to gently open your eyes if they're closed.
Friends, please join us now in the musical meditation. The musical meditation is Namo Avalokiteshvara. That's a mouthful of Sanskrit, but I'd like to invite you to learn it a couple syllables at a time. So if you would like, you may repeat after me. Namo,
Namo,
Valo,
Valo,
Kitesh,
Kitesh,
Varaya.
Varaya,
Namo,
Namo,
Kitesh Varaya.
Kitesh Varaya.
And you may be wondering what this means. Namo, it's a contraction of Namo Avalokitesh Varaya, which means homage to the Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara. I could give a long, complicated explanation, but I'm going to offer a very simple one. This is a chant we use to cultivate the aspect of compassion in ourselves and in others. It's a way of cultivating and honoring compassion in ourselves and in one another. I'll begin playing, and those who know can just join right in. And we'll do this 3 or 4 times. Three times? 2 times. Okay. I heard John Williams, the guitar player, once say that guitar players do 2 things. They tune and they play out of tune.
I almost don't want to talk. This morning, the members of our Live Oak UU Buddhist Sangha are delighted to be leading this worship service to share some of our traditions and the joy of our practice. Marie Arnold and Fermina Murray and I will give you some perspectives about our particular practice. When I mention I'm going to Sangha tonight, I get some funny looks and the response, "Where are you going?" At that point, I usually just cut it short and say, "It's my meditation group." But what is that Sangha? What exactly is a Sangha? The simple answer, of course, is a group that meditates together. Here at Live Oak, our Sangha started in November of 2004 when Deborah Rogers asked if there were any others who would like to come and sit and meditate with her. At first, there were just a handful, and we met every 2 weeks. As we became known here at Live Oak and also out in the community, we now have a group of somewhere between 7 and 15 that meet every week, every Tuesday, just in case you want to come. In Thich Nhat Hanh's tradition, which we follow here, the word Sangha refers to a community that lives in harmony and awareness. We come together each week, needing to sit quietly together, to study Buddhist texts and teachings, and to reflect on those teachings and the meaning in our lives. Meditating in a group makes our practice stronger and richer. Our weekly walking meditation provides another way to bring our bodies, hearts, and minds together. As Sister Chan Kong, a longtime companion of Thay's, says, quote, "I believe in the collective wisdom of a group of friends who vow to practice the same method as I do on the path to liberation. We need each other for support and to share experiences of practice," end quote. And we celebrate when some among us take the 5 mindfulness vows, and again, when some of us become members of the Order of Interbeing, 2 different levels of commitment in the tradition of Thich Nhat Hanh. We are also affiliated with the UU Buddhist Fellowship, where there are many UUs that are interested in various different traditions. We are a lay-led group, meaning that we do not formally have any formally trained Dharma teacher leading our Sangha. We share in leadership and in the work meditation each week of setting up and taking down our meeting space and our service to Live Oak, which is taking out the recycling and trash to the curb each week. Periodically, we choose a Buddhist teacher with care to pick diverse points of view and traditions and study a short piece of that text each week. One time a month, we bring an unrelated program to share. Throughout all of these experiences, we are presenting opportunities for each of us to heal our hearts from the divisions of the world and bring us back to breathing and awareness, which guides and renews us. Each of us comes to Sangha from a different path, a different place on the path to wholeness. And yet, when we are together, we listen, learn, examine, and find our way toward wholeness. The Buddha was quite specific about not taking anyone else's ideas for how to live without examining yourself to find out what those truths are for yourself. Almost a you kind of idea there. And sometimes each of us is reminded not to be so hard on ourselves, or that the path is sometimes peaceful and sometimes very difficult, or some other relevant lesson from the sharing of another Sangha member. The refuge of being on the same path with others who have found the practice to be helpful in their lives is very powerful. Finally, we do metta, or loving kindness practice together as a Sangha. We finish each evening with the following words: May all beings be filled with loving kindness. May all beings be safe from inner and outer danger. May all beings be well in body, heart, and mind. May all beings be at peace and completely happy. It's one of the ways we send positive energy out into the world to relieve suffering and to build a more peaceful world. Our Live Oak Sangha and the teachings of Thai have enriched my life immeasurably.
Most of you are familiar with the Ten Commandments, also known as the Decalogue, which are a set of biblical laws relating to ethics and worship, which play a fundamental role in Judaism and Christianity. They include instructions to worship only God and to keep the Sabbath, and prohibitions against idolatry, blasphemy, murder, theft, deception, and adultery. I can't argue with most of them, except maybe that they should include honor not only your parents, but also your children. However, they fail to provide me with a set of daily principles to live a joyous life. These instructions are restrictive or prohibitive. Breaking these laws come with great consequences and punishment. The emphasis is that the law comes from above, and we must obey God's law. As I became a Unitarian Universalist, I adopted the UU set of principles. These principles are much more about a way of life than a set of rules or beliefs. The principles talk about the importance of each person to be kind in all you do, that we are free to learn together, to search for what is true, that all people need a voice, and to build a fair and peaceful world. These are guiding principles and a code of ethic that suits me far better than the Ten Commandments issued from above. Their source is not only from the Bible and are far more inclusive. They are our direct experience, words and deeds of prophetic women and men, humanist teachings, Jewish and Christian teachings, and earth-centered traditions. There is no fear of damnation if you do not adhere perfectly to these guidelines. These principles and sources of faith are the backbone of our religious community. A few years ago, we attended a retreat at the Buddhist monastery of Deer Park near San Diego and participated in a ceremony called the 5 Mindfulness Trainings. Since then, our own Sangha here at Live Oak is reciting these 5 mindfulness training once a month. In my opinion, these mindfulness trainings go hand in hand with UU principles. The 5 mindfulness trainings represent the Buddhist vision for a global spirituality and ethic. They are a concrete expression of the Buddha's teachings on the Four Noble Truths and the Noble Eightfold Path, the path of right understanding and true love, leading to healing, transformation, and happiness for us, for the world. To practice the 5 mindfulness training is to cultivate the insight of interbeing, which can remove all discrimination, intolerance, anger, fear, and despair. If we live accordingly to the 5 mindfulness trainings, we are already on the path of a bodhisattva. Knowing we are on that path, we are not lost in confusion about our life in the present or in fears about the future. I will give you a small sample of each mindfulness training. However, I will not read them in its entirety due to a lack of time. The first one talks about reverence for life. Aware of the suffering caused by the destruction of life, I am committed to cultivating the insight of interbeing and compassion and learning ways to protect the lives of people, animals, plants, and minerals. The second one talks about true happiness. Aware of the suffering caused by exploitation, social injustice, stealing, and oppression, I am committed to practicing generosity in my thinking, speaking, and acting. The third one talks about true love. Aware of the suffering caused by sexual misconduct, I am committed to cultivating responsibility and learning ways to protect the safety and integrity of individuals, couples, families, and society. The fourth one talks about loving speech and deep listening. Aware of the suffering caused by unmindful speech and the inability to listen to others, I am committed to cultivating loving speech and compassionate listening in order to relieve suffering and to promote reconciliation and peace in myself and among other people, ethnic and religious groups, and nations. The fifth one talks about nourishment and healing. Aware of the suffering caused by my unmindful consumption, I am committed to cultivating good health, both physical and mental, for myself, my family, and my society by practicing mindful eating, drinking, and consuming. The decision to live a spiritually filled and ethically responsible life is now a decision for me, from me, not from above, but it's also an awareness of my own thoughts and subsequent actions. It is important to keep in mind that taking these trainings is not an invitation to perfectionism. It has been observed by many, such as Gandhi and Thich Nhat Hanh, that it is impossible to keep the first training perfectly, that farming, gardening, house cleaning, cooking, eating, and personal hygiene result in some destruction of life. Similar difficulties may arise with the other trainings. Despite the absolutist language, the importance of these trainings is that when difficulties arise, they urge us to minimize the damage, to choose the option that causes the least amount of suffering, and to act at all times without creating unnecessary suffering. Awareness of suffering keeps our compassion alive. In observing these trainings, we could treat other beings as we ourselves wish to be treated, with consideration, respect, and intimate care.
What is mindfulness practice in the Thich Nhat Hanh tradition? And how does it relate to our 7 UU covenant affirmations? Our revered Sangha teacher, the Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh, affectionately known as Thai, states that mindfulness is the practice of being here and now. It means to be here, fully present, and fully alive, unencumbered by the thoughts of the past or the future. He goes on to say that mindfulness is the foundation of happiness. Mindfulness practice begins by making a deliberate choice to stop, to take time out to breathe. Thai reminds us that mindful breathing is like a bridge connecting the body and mind. The act of using the breath to unite the body and mind to the present moment, here and now, is the miracle of mindfulness. The moment when you breathe in and aware that you are breathing in, you have begun to breathe mindfully. A smile can relax the hundreds of muscles in your face. While we practice conscious breathing, our thinking slows down, and we can give our minds and bodies a real peaceful rest. My experience with mindfulness in our Tuesday night Sangha has become a spiritual refuge, which has deepened my daily meditation practice. When my body is calmed, the mind is spacious, the heart open and filled with loving kindness, I'm able to feel how much peace, happiness, and lightness I already have. As well, I could also observe how much fear, anxiety, irritation, and worry are present inside me. Mindfulness, when it arrives, is like what another Buddhist teacher, Tara Brach, describes as that warm feeling of unconditional friendliness toward oneself. In the Thich Nhat Hanh mindfulness tradition, it is looking deeply to experience our individual and collective inherent worth and dignity. Mindfulness is an awareness that the inherent worth and dignity of every person begins with me. I must practice loving kindness for myself first, before I could genuinely extend it to others. For me, the weaving of our 7 UU affirmations and Live Oak core values are aligned with mindfulness in the Thich Nhat Hanh tradition. Thai places a high value on relating ancient wisdom of the Buddha to everyday life. And he says, there is no enlightenment outside of everyday life. Being present in the moment is what will bring us happiness. By bringing one's body and mind together in the present moment, we can experience peace, unity with humanity, and with all of life. May it be so for us and all beings everywhere.
Please remain standing and join hands so that all are included in our circle. Holding hands, may we help to bring healing and freedom to our world. May all beings realize their essence as loving kindness. May all beings live their lives from this awakened heart. May all beings be happy. May all beings touch great natural peace. May there be peace on earth, peace everywhere. May all beings awaken and be free.